Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leathercraft, and we're going to make two incredibly gorgeous leather cuffs, and you're going to be amazed at how easy this is to do. Well, now the reason I say that is because Chapter 1, we're simply going to take 12 by 12 inch leather panel. And these are gorgeous, chrome tan, so therefore we don't have to dye, we don't have to top coat, no dry time there. We simply cut, add a couple of holes, a snap, and we have an empty canvas with which to work. Now, the reason I say that is because Chapter 2, we're going to jump into these beautiful cuffs. We're going to set some spots, do a little dye work, maybe a stamp, some hardware, and again, that is just two designs of an unlimited field of possibilities. If you're an artist, or you love accessories, or a silversmith, or jeweler, the blank is a perfect place to start. Now, everything I use in this video, weaverleathercraft.com, or just look below, you'll see links, going to take you straight to the website. So let's do this. We need a pattern. It's a simple cuff, but nonetheless, we're going to deal with links, widths, and designs. So we need to nail that down. So let's jump over here, get a good pattern going. Now, to save us a little time on this pattern, I've dropped in a line 1 1/4 inch from my edge. That's going to be the width of my cuff. We can make this from 3/8 of an inch wide to who knows what. Your cuff, your call on width. Now, length. I want a little room between my snap and the end of my strap so I can drop in a round end or either clip the corners. So I want to come in 3/4 of an inch from my end. That will give me ample room to punch. All right. Here's a common mistake though, but once you see this, you'll never make it. I've measured my wrist with just a simple tape measure and I'm at 7 inches snap to snap. Notice I said snap to snap. That's exactly right, because we don't want to measure 7 inches from the end of our pattern. We need to measure from my snap. So let's drop in a line. There we go. 7 inch spread. That's just right. 3/4 of an inch. Let's drop that in. So there's our strap. That should be 8 1/2 inches long. It is. So I'm going to drop down 8 1/2 inches. So I know how long my blank needs to be. All right, let's drop in a line. Center. There we go. 5/8 of an inch. And down here on my snap line, 5/8 of an inch. Well, there we go. There's our pattern. So let's say fits 7 inches. Well, there's our first pattern. So I'm going to cut this out. Let's step over there and cut some leather. Now, with our leather panel pack, and again, I already broke into this, so I've already cut a piece off. Anyway, what we're going to do, 1 1/4 inch wide. So let's take our knife. I'm going to drop my square in, 1/4 of an inch in, and I'm simply going to make a small nick in that. Just enough to see. All right, let's take our square. I'm going to bring that down to 8 1/2 inches from my pattern. Drop my 8 1/2, square that on my mark, and square that right there, 1 1/4 inches. Easy enough. Now down here, we don't necessarily need a really tight, clean cut because we're going to punch that out. Now at this point, you can cut a round in, you can simply clip your corners, you can cut an angle, again, your design. Let's go ahead and take an awl, you can use a pen or a pencil, and let's just mark for our snap holes. Okay, easy enough thus far. Let's step over to our quartz. We're going to punch our hole, punch our round in, set a snap, and we're done. Now, our first step, we're going to take a revolving punch and just choose one of the middle holes because all we have to do is get that post through it. So not critical. Now, a little snug is nice. That's going to give it some good durability, but not perfect there. We don't have to be exact by any means. Okay, so we've got our holes. Now, let's jump over to a round end punch. So I'm going to drop down a piece of leather onto my quartz. What this will do will deaden the sound a little bit, but at the same time gives my punch board a little grip. Now, round end punch. Just like the name implies, it's going to punch a round end on this. These are size specific, so I'm looking for the 1 1/4 for my 1 1/4 inch strap. Now I'm going to put my pinky right at the bottom of that cutting edge because I can feel the end of my strap, and I'm going to scoot that tool in just a little bit. Notice maybe 1/8 of an inch, give or take, because we have ample room here. Now, the other two sides of the tool, I can set that right on the end and I can see just a little daylight on either side. That means that's going to give me a very clean, accurate cut. Well, that looks good. Okay, let's drop this on the other end. Now, one trick too, we've gone 3/4 of an inch out. That means that if I mispunch that or I don't get a good punch in there, I can punch it again. We'll never notice it. All right, so let's jump over to setting a snap. Now we're going to set a line 20 snap. This is an incredibly common snap, very easy to set. This is good for 4 to 5 ounce up to 8, 9. And there's a line 20 snap, sets exactly the same way, maybe 3 to 4, 4 to 5 ounce. All right, so we have 2 females and 2 males here. Does not matter which goes with which. The snap will still bite. But let's start with a piece that's got an open back on it. We're going to lay that flat on our quartz, and we're going to come through from the back to our top grain. Now let's take the flange on the inside. I'm simply going to drop that on that post. Now my setting tool's got just a rounded tip. I'm going to put that right on that post and drive that down, and it's going to curl down nicely. Perfect, just what I'm looking for. Now I don't want to drive it so hard that that flange pulls in, then the snap won't bite. But I do need it down enough to where it's not going to spin on the strap. All right, let's flip this around and take an anvil, because we're going to add our cap, and we don't want to crush this. So we're going to drop that in the anvil, top grain down, obviously, because that's the outside of the snap. Let's drop down the other female piece. Same tool. I'm going to drop that in. 2 good shots, and that side is set as well. How easy could that be? And that is a great snap, nice cuff. And in fact, there's the same width, same length, just with a little bit of decoration and the line 20 snaps. Well, how easy was that? We just made a beautiful, clean, professional cuff in no time at all. And in fact, that looks great just by itself. So take this cuff, decorate that to your heart's content, or follow me to chapter 2, and we are going to step it up.